stickpiano here again with number 2 in the Total Tactics testing series. This is a series where we take you through tactics and we run them through our testing database. So let me walk you through the methodology. Okay, so the Total Tactics testing database is available on our Discord. You can find a link in the description to join that Discord. It's a save game file on Football Manager 2022 that you load in. So there are 4 leagues only in the save game file, and in each league there is a manager controlling the team Napoli. Napoli is balanced in each league to roughly be in a certain tier. So you have the elite teams league, where Napoli is one of the worst teams in the league. You have the balanced league, where Napoli is in the top third. They'd be challenging for the European places, and that league has Liverpool at the top and Union Berlin down at the bottom, those kind of teams. So there's a big spectrum of teams in the balanced league. So how could Napoli do in just a regular league structure? There's also the average team leagues, where all of the teams are about the same level. And then the underdog league, where Napoli is clearly the best team in the league. So how do you do it? You just load your tactic in for each instance of Napoli, all 4 managers. You set each manager to go on vacation until Friday, May 13th, and then at the conclusion of the season, you get to look at your results, and you just simulate and vacation all 4 managers, all running your tactic, all in different circumstances. I think that it's a really balanced way to sort of approach tactic creation to see how your tactic does in a variety of situations. And we have SNG, Bust the Net, Coinbird, and Tacticality, along with myself, all to thank for the development of this database. And on the Discord server, you'll see all of us and a few other mods interacting with you on tactics that you submit to the Discord, and just, answering your questions and getting tactical advice as well throughout the various sections of the Discord. So I urge you to join, and again, the link to joining that Discord is in the description. All right, let's take a look at the tactic. Okay, so this is the tactic. It looks a little bit weird. Maybe you've seen something called the Brazil box before, which is one of the inspirations for this tactic. And I'm calling it the false box, and that's because it uses 2 false 9s. So, not the most creative name here for this tactic, but you'll see the roles here as 2 strikers, both on false 9, 2 shadow strikers on attack, 2 roaming playmakers on support, 2 fullbacks on attack, and 2 ball-playing defenders on defend. Now, all the roles and stuff are mirrored. You've got the false 9s are both set to run wide with the ball and to stay wider. Both of them have that instruction. So how does it work in the tactic? That's the real question. So the false 9s, when they get the ball, oftentimes drift out wide. Sometimes they're even pretty high up the pitch. Now, if the AI has type marking or individual marking on any of these false 9s, a central defender will get dragged with that false 9 way out of position, which, as you can probably tell, creates acres of space for both the shadow strikers to just run into. If the other defender overreacts to the channel runs being made by the shadow strikers, then the other false 9 makes a back post run and is often completely wide open. So that's plan A for scoring goals, is the false 9s drifting out wide, creating space for the shadow strikers in behind. Now, what also tends to happen in this tactic, which is a nice little side benefit, and the reason why the fullbacks are there on attack, is that if the false 9 comes wide and there is no through ball, like maybe he gets marked by the fullback or something, the false 9 will lay off to the fullback, who is driving up the pitch as well on attack, and then the fullback gets to the byline and then cuts it back for either the false 9 on the back post or either of the shadow strikers continuing their second level late run into the box. So the false 9 either plays a through ball or lays it off for the fullback, and there are lots of options. If, for example, the fullback is marked, that's where the roaming playmakers come into play. I love roaming playmakers as DMs because they play very high up the pitch, but they never get into the box. So they're kind of like a more offensive DLP but not as offensive as a Volante. So they give you a lot of options. They kind of they make forward passes. They act as like a safety valve at the top of the box, but they're not so far back that it gives the defense time to reset. So it's a very interesting role and one that I highly recommend. So the false nines just have a variety of options, right? Through ball to the shadow strikers or back post ball to the other false nine, lay it off to the fullback who's coming in on the overlap on attack. Or if that's not open, then there's usually a simple pass back to the RPM, and then you can start the whole process over again. In possession, this tactic is fantastic. One of the things I've noticed about it is that it's really good against 5 at the back tactics. I've noticed it's really good against 4-2-3-1s. I've noticed it's really good against basically any tactic that doesn't play a DM, and it's really good against like 4-4-2s, 4-2-4s, like those kind of tactics. I used this tactic in the FM Super League to win my semifinal matchup against a 4-2-4, and the tactic did very well the 3 halves of football that I played with it. So it's something I recommend in PvP too. Let's talk quickly about PvP in this tactic. One of the risks with this tactic in PvP is those fullbacks on attack. They probably need to be on support because you don't have those inverted wingers or like wide midfielders that give you the extra protection against an attacking fullback. And a lot of PvP players like to play an attacking fullback. So one thing that I do when I play this tactic is in PvP is I will switch this fullback into support, and I'll even sometimes go into the team instructions and tell them to hold their position. I want them maybe even to cross from deep. I just don't want them taking fewer risks. Like, I don't want them getting so far up the field that they can't react to a counterattack. So those are all like choices that you have and things that I've done in the past to adjust this fullback role for a PvP environment. I really like the tactic, and I think it's pretty good. And let's see if the results bear that out. All right, we're back here with the results, and you can see the tactic was a smashing success. I base that off of 2 things. The first is it won the Elite League by 11 points. So we take a look at the Elite League table. Any tactic that finishes top 3 in the Elite League is very good. A tactic that can win the Elite League is incredible. And not only did it win it, but it won it by 11 points with a plus 32 goal difference, only drew 4 times, had an impressive 24 wins. So the Elite League is a big success. Now, what happened in the Balanced League? So the Balanced League, not quite as good, right? 73 points. But I will say, you know, a good result in the Balanced League is just finishing second. Liverpool often wins because they never drop points to Lyon and Augsburg and Union Berlin. Like, they just never drop those points. So finishing 4th, 22 wins, 7 draws, 7 losses, plus 37 goal difference. And look, there's just a lot of clustering here. We're 2 points behind Real Madrid here in the table, but we also only have more goal difference, a higher goal difference than Real Madrid does. You can also see here too, we scored 82 goals in the division, which is the 3rd highest total. Only Liverpool and Leicester by 1 goal outpaced us. So I think there's a lot to be encouraged here about the Balanced League. I'm not worried about this result. In fact, the Elite League win by 11 is much more important. All right, so in the Average Teams League, we didn't win the league, but we finished 2nd by 5 points with a much higher goal difference than Arsenal. So I think there may have been some like variance and results here. I bet if we ran this sim again, we might win this league or do a little better. Excuse me. So the Average League, I think, is encouraging that result as well. And then finally, the Underdog League, easy win, 29-5-2, 107 goals for, plus 80 goal difference for 92 points. That's actually an incredible result. Plus 80 is extremely high number for an underdog test. 107 goals for is also a very high number for an underdog test in just 36 games. So clearly it does well in that situation. So the results are pretty good. You know, it crushes the Underdog League. It won the Elite League, which is one of the first tactics that I've seen really do that pretty convincingly. And I made the tactic myself. So, like, to summarize, The tactic was developed on stream on my Twitch channel, which there's a link to in the description, and, you know, I'm nearing 1,000 followers on Twitch, so every follower matters. That number hopefully will become dated pretty soon in this video, but the false nines drift wide, the shadow strikers hit the gap, the RPMs are the safety valve, and the fullbacks just give another area of attack. It kind of makes sense, and it all comes together. It's good in both PvP and against the AI. I'm playing it in my online save right now on Twitch with Esbjerg in Denmark, and we are currently top of the table, headed into about match week 10, in only season 4 with a team that starts out in tier 2. So, and we've already beaten Copenhagen 4 or 5 times with this tactic over 2 seasons. So between the cup and like the longer double stage season with Copenhagen with the Denmark League, the tactic does well against elite teams, right? Like that's what the results bear out. In Denmark, Copenhagen is the elite team. Our Esbjerg squad is nowhere near as good, and despite that, we're getting results against the best teams and sitting in first place currently. So I recommend this tactic. I think it's really good. And, you know, I'd like to let me know how the tactic does for you in the comments. And before you get to those comments, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the video. And, you know, give me feedback on both this video and future videos. What kind of tactics do you want to see? And stuff like that. You can download this tactic from the Total Tactics Discord. So if you join that Discord, there is a section to download tested tactics, and I will make sure that this tactic is in that Discord channel waiting for you to download very soon. So that's it for me, stickpiano. I hope that you enjoyed this video series, and we'll be moving on to test number 3 next week. And just make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow my Twitch channel. All the links are in the description, and I will see you next week.